They're not consistent in the performance, though.
It will be So1 playing a full series if they go down 2-0, which is not a stat that Jin Air wants to happen. They want to see a third game. We'll see if they can force that on the blue side this time. And starting off with a Graves ban, so targeting Song1's champion pool.
I mean, this was their first ban on red side. Or one of the bans on red side that we did see come up from them.
Well, we see Rengar first picked or banned on the blue side by Jin Air. A lot of junglers that have been taken into Rengar being banned away, so it does seem like first ban, Jin Air picking the Rengar first pick as possible.
Seems like they might want to go for the pitching down on the jungle pool pretty significantly here. Now Graves and Elise taken off the board. Varus second ban from the side of the ROX Tigers. Don't want to let that go through, even though they were able to handle it relatively well from Teddy. And Jace not going to be picked up here. So
Camille and the Rengar both available. Only one can be banned away, or go somewhere else and just take whichever one is left open. I like banning neither. See what Tigers want to do. Just ban something else.
Yeah, it might be a good strap, but it will be the Rengar in the end. So Camille could just get snatched up for So1. Saul already, strong performance on the Rumble, a good one on the Jace, but might be prioritizing this Kha'Zix for MT yet again.
Be a surprise to see it taken so early. Kha'Zix fallen away much more than Camille, which hasn't always been first pick, first ban, but big jump in Kha'Zix priority for Jin Air GreenWings. I suspect they're going to be taking Maokai in the first round to really make this Kha'Zix work. No surprises if Linderong locks in the Camille for himself. He played it very well at IEM in their first game.
Yeah, I think they might just go for this one. See them taking their time. There we go. They do end up locking it in. So nice big carry top for Linderong. And where else do they want to go? Jungle Pool's been pinched, so wouldn't be surprised to see that locked in this first rotation, but it could just go for the ADC, get the Jin away from Teddy, and they will.
They banned it in the first game on blue, so takeaway and red side. High priority, respect for his performances in general on the Jin, rather than the costly results he's found in LCK. You would take your response to the Jin this round if you're Jin Air, whether it's Ashe or Ezreal. It's jumping up a little bit. Seems like Teddy's happy to go for the Ashe school of thought. He mentioned before that he wants to play the Ezreal. I believe played it in the last time these two teams met, but was on the losing side. And Malzahar, a champion that very often doesn't make through picks and bans. A flex pick for Jin Air as well. Guzan's highest win rate is the Malzahar. 2-1 on the Malzahar. So far a little bit less successful, but a lot of lockdown for Kha'Zix to get in there and mess some fools up.
I mean, really good chain CC with the Ashe Arrow as well, so there's a lot of potential for what Jin Air are piecing together right now. We have to see a bit more from ROX to see where they want to go.
I mean, you look at this draft so far and you're like, well, this looks like almost certainly Cassiopeia and Maokai for Jin Air to go along with what they've got for a very powerful comp. And okay, Tom Kench was something that Jin Air could desperately have used in game one, banned away by the Tigers in that game when they were on blue, and now is actually taken by ROX to stop it just being a full pick comp for Kha'Zix to feast on.
So, yeah, smart getting that off the table right now because almost certainly would have been banned away. Maokai taken away.
Love the Maokai ban. Maokai Cassiopeia to round out that comp from Jin Air. So many times have we seen Maokai, Cassiopeia, and the Kha'Zix, which are a great trio that can be plug and played into any comp, especially multiple initiation comp like Jin Air have already taken. We've got red side ROX, so this is where we count how many assassins are banned in the second round.
So far we got Echo banned away here from Mickey, so respect being shown to him. The Ahri's still available if he wants to go for something like that. I'm still not sure where that Malzahar is going.
Like I said, flex pick for Jin Air, more so than other teams. Other teams have tried it once. 3 games of Malzahar mid for Jin Air. Syndra ban. They don't want to blind pick Syndra, even though it's a really good pick for Mickey. And, well, he's got Ignite Summon a spell, Kilios, so this is the part where we start grinning and hoping.
It could be the Ahri yet again. Could be something like the Zed. Love to see him bring out one of those true assassins yet again.
Pad that win rate.
Hell, even the Talon I'll take from Mickey. I'd like to see him play that.
I'd love to see the Talon. When you consider what they have so far, though, they have
Ahri's banned.
Pretty low tankiness team. Split Pusher On one side, 1-3-1 would be very strong with something like I said. Echo banned and the Ari. So the safer choice is a banned. Champions that can have both the 1-3-1 and also the wave clear in mid. And I think it's time to lock in a top laner or a jungler, sorry, and it might just be Jungle Olaf.
Okay, and it is. We haven't seen Olaf in quite a bit here.
I believe the last time we saw Olaf was the top lane Olaf into the Maokai, and this is going to be a Jungle Olaf. Olaf's very, very powerful against Ashe Malzahar because you get enough items, Righteous Glory at them, and there's not much Ashe can do.
Yeah. See, now the hover over the Corki, this would be a perfect setup for Mickey to go the Zed. Still a lot of lockdown for him, but they lock that in, and it looks like we might have the Renekton versus the Camille.
Yep, good classic counter-pick matchup. Remember, they did not choose to ban the Renekton. They banned Syndra instead. Zed is good against Syndra, so that actually dissuades me from thinking it's a Zed pick last. Cassiopeia would be safer. Yeah, if you're going to pay against... I think here, if you're going to choose Zed, you take the Maokai and you keep the Syndra off, so you just ban the Renekton as well, go double top lane ban, but wouldn't have a balanced damage type either, so makes more sense to go something a little bit more reliable, and it'll be the Cassio.
Yeah, they definitely need some AP damage here, right? So Cassiopeia will get locked in for Mickey, something that should be very comfortable for him. So ROX Tigers overall, pretty powerful draft coming through. The Tom Kench there to snatch people away from the Nether Grasp, the Ashe Arrows. Keep them safe from that Kha'Zix and Renekton, who are just going to try to just hound down on top of them and rain in the damage.
I think there's a lot to like on Jin Air's side too. Renekton does have the winning matchup against the Camille in the top lane. Corki can certainly do things against Cassiopeia outside of level 2, where things can get a bit tricky, or if the miasma is super on point from Mickey. And in general, it's a very solid draft. They could certainly snowball this game away from ROX Tigers, but you have to be influenced by the last 3 games we've seen from this team across this week. ROX Tigers have been significantly on front, but there's some different stuff here. The Songwon on the Olaf is definitely a move away from some of his other more traditional picks that we've seen this week, for sure.
And we also, once again, just have to keep our eyes on Umti, see what he's going to do. He's just not been having a great time in the jungle. See if he can turn this around. Going back over to the Kha'Zix. He tried playing this in Game 1 versus ROX Tigers. Did not work out whatsoever.
Can't argue with that, Achilleos. Some power on the board for Jin Air. Malzahar on the support role against a melee support might work as well, but Jin Air need everything they can get because so far it hasn't led to much.
Yeah, just that one match win. Now need to take the second game, force us to go to a full 3-game series. Let's see if Jin Air can do it or if ROX will just snuff them out here with a 2-0. Let's get on to the Rift for game number 2. Jin Air fans trying to transfer their energy via their voices into the players in the booth. Fortunately, it's soundproof, so they can't hear them.
But they're still there with the love, as you can see. Jin Air have had a loyal fan base across many esports for a long time. League of Legends has always been a pretty frugal hunting ground for them. Never won champions, never really came close. Have made it to the postseason, but nothing more to report from previously the Falcons and then the Stealths or the Jin Air organization after the consolidation in 2015. And the ROX fans, it's a different kind of year for them, but at least it's a hopeful run. You know, they've had the softer opposition recently. Yeah. IEM was a learning experience for them in many ways. Some heartening performances, some less heartening performances. And now it's all about the second round robin, because if ROX can turn their opening 2 series wins, which are very likely, into at least giving trouble for the top teams, that's a positive movement for them.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and this could just be one of those rosters where, you know, it's you don't focus on spring split as much, you know, keep yourself away from relegation, but then just get ready to explode into summer split. That could very well be what ends up happening for this ROX Tiger squad. I think continue to climb at a steady pace.
They're the only team that actually added a player during the transfer over. In Korea, you can only add players to your roster during the break between the first and second round robins. So this is the first series that Mighty Bear is eligible to play. Previously a jungler over in the EU LCS. Always been a very good solo queue player. Didn't really have much success over in Europe, but clearly something was sin. But given that Sungwon's been really in form, may have to wait his turn.
Hopefully for him, he has a better time of it than Spirit coming back over, because it's been struggle street for him.
He beat SKT, so he's got that going for him.
That's true. He does have, he's got that under his belt, but not much else.
Went for a slower route. Actually didn't start blue buff, I guess, to throw off the potential invade from Kha'Zix, because you fall low health, Kha'Zix invades at your second buff, and you die. So jungle speed a little bit slower, because he got the blue buff only at the third camp.
Should be able to pick up the pace here, though. See already, first recall coming through from Umti. And he'll go up towards his top side, maybe try to find some visitation onto Linderong, who right now is trading it pretty evenly with So-On. He'll come out on top given the innate sustain that he has in his kit. Teddy getting rooted down bot. Just get a couple shots off onto him.
Sung has to heal because he realized he was getting in too close range to Malzahar.
Yeah, look at all those Voidlings coming out, even with the delay now.
I try not to, Achilles.
The Voidlings tilt you.
Less so than before. I feel a bit cathartic knowing that often they're a second max because not just as damn powerful as they once were.
Pretty busted, for you'd have to say. Well, Smite has to be used by Sungwon. Pick up on that Scuttle Crab. Start running up towards the top lane, but both junglers know that they're here, so this would be a bit rough. Flash away from Empty. The slow comes through. Trying to turn this one around. Linderong takes a bit of damage. He's got to be careful now as he moves back into lane against So-On, but nice pick up there, getting rid of that flash.
It's a big prize because now suddenly Umti invading is less of a reliable thing, has one jump, but often use that to gap close for another Q. See Sungwon just helping the wave push in top as Linderong.
Umti's still here. They lock up Sungwon. He might go down, and he does. That's first blood going over for Umti. Now Linderong will fall. Double kill going over to the Kha'Zix. Way too greedy to stick around there from Sungwon and Linderong. Wanted to push in onto So-On, but just not respecting the return from the Kha'Zix.
Linderong botched it really badly as well. He actually used his E with no terrain around, so wasn't going to get the jump, wasn't going to get the move, and then just had to fight in a creep wave. Was never going to be able to turn it around. So 2 kills onto Umti, who just had to flash away defensively, is a donation from the side of the ROX Tigers.
Yeah, for sure. Really good pickup from him, and that's going to slingshot Jin Air into a nice little lead here to start things off. 1.3 thousand gold. Mickey at the moment running out in mid, inching ahead in CS, and putting down quite a bit of damage on a Kuzan, but could be turned around here. Umti roaming in. Won't be going for the leap, doesn't have the flash to close the distance, so he'll just help push the wave.
He returns to lane very quickly with the teleport, of course, but troubling when you're already into a Phage Renekton who will get those extra auto attacks with the Rage passives. Bot lane.
Oh, Snowflower going low. Flash forward from Songyun. Can he get it? No! Last hit won't come through. Almost goes down. And that's a bit of a botch if you're the ROX Tigers.
This was solo queue. We'll be talking about people greeting for things, Achilles. It's been pretty sloppy from ROX Tigers, whether it was the top lane or Songyun flashing in for an auto, which was never going to be providing the kill onto Snowflower. Really not sure what's going on. Bit of a brain explosion in the first 5 minutes for the ROX Tigers.
Definitely seems that way. Here we were just singing them all these praises, and, well, they shut us up for bad reason.
You're only as good as your last flash in for the kill. So apparently Songyun's not that good.
Pretty bad. Oh, dear. All right, well, we'll see how they opt in to try to turn this one around. Because right now, Songyun is getting spanked pretty hard when it comes to the CS.
It's a good matchup, and he gave over experience and gold, so yeah, big item discrepancy. Probably just going to have to go straight up Ninja Tabio, just a Sheen with the cloth armor, and going to be way behind in effective items to So-On. And they're feeling like punishing him more.
Well, hook shots there to take him out. So won't be able to find it, but they could get some nice damage in on that turret.
Good ward, actually. Spotted the Kha'Zix walking in. Wasn't communicated by So-On, clearly.
And Mickey's probably just like, I'm going to have to hard carry.
We've seen him have close to hard carries, but lose on the Cassiopeia before.
Oh, over the wall
Nice
comes
evade.
MT onto Songwon. He'll pop the Ghost to try to sprint out of there. Still lots of damage coming through the isolation, doing some work, and that's going to be a red buff taken away.
Doesn't have the lane pressure and bot to try and steal enemy red, and with Kha'Zix already showing in his jungle, was optimistic that he'd be able to take his own red.
Oh, and they're just going to come straight
Linda
back
Rung
up
should
towards
know
the
better
top.
here.
Waiting for the hook shot. There we go. Tosses it out. Dives in underneath the turret. So still safe. Linderong's got to be so cautious up in this top lane.
Hookshot mechanics, predictably, could only get better from his last attempt at a hookshot. Gets away. But Ninja Tabi to Phage is, let's call it an item trough. That's the nicest way to put it. He's going to get spanked, is basically what I'm saying.
Already is. Nearly down 20 CS. Turrets getting chipped away at by the minions. Songwon trying to take away this red buff. We'll spot out UMT. Going to have to draw this back as the Smite can take the Blast Cone out to safety.
Should have been his first move, but he learns, so that's good at least.
Takes that away safely. If he had gotten caught, he would have been screwed. No Ghost. Doesn't
Had
have the
ultimate,
Ragnarok, but so much damage from the isolation. Almost certainly would have killed him.
Yeah. If UMT had flash, I agree, but tricky to lock down the Olaf, given his Ragnarok. Even Malzahar doesn't have the tonic for that one. And someone has that really important role. It's going to be the sort of build that Spirit was known for.
Slowly.
As, yep, that was a bit silly.
Slowly. I got it. All right.
Someone took about 300 damage bonus there. But Righteous Glory, Cinder Hulk, run at Ash is basically his role.
Yep. See how well that works out for him, because he also needs to get some tanky stats in there, or else he's just going to get shredded down.
But he's going to occupy Ash's time for at least 3 seconds, so it's something.
Triple crit dead.
Stranger things have happened.
I mean, we saw Elisa almost get one shot, so.
It's a really happy hunting ground for Renekton. That's why they were not unhappy to leave Camille go through. In terms of draft, we were surprised to see Kha'Zix prioritize, given that Kha'Zix's been overlooked, I think, in some games where he should have been considered, and on 7.3 had further nerfs, so definitely lower priority on this patch. But when you pack it with Ash Malzahar, plenty to work with here for the Kha'Zix.
Surprised we haven't seen MT try to pick up the Lee Sin again. It's been hit or miss, but again, his lack of hesitation going in for plays can really help profit the team quite a bit. See that gank not going to go off. Hook shot yet again, taking Linderong to safety. And they see UMT up at the top side of the map, so there should be a free Infernal Drake over for the ROX Tigers.
We'll guarantee it as well, and UMT's like, well, screw this, I'm just going to turret dive.
See if they can. Dominus is up for so on. He's going to go ahead, peel way back, and likely just have to concede that turret.
It's good to see Linderong, though, getting smarter. And top lane isn't competitive. Often don't have the same reactions when it comes to turret dives. Best top laners, Smeb, Cuvée, are smart. Stepping away from top lane turrets and getting out. Hooney's there as well. He's been able to pick that part of the game up very quickly. So able to evacuate. No problem for Linderong. Let's give up first brick, but that's all there is to say.
Yeah, that'll stretch the lead a bit further here for Jinair. The Tigers now have that 8% 88 piece stacking up for them steadily as they move further into the game.
Kind of the irony, though, is that Renekton's like, okay, I'm ready to dominate lane, got my Black Cleaver, was rushing towards it, and now he doesn't really have a lane to dominate. If he pushes up too far, he will be ganked. Most of the gold is spent there on offensive statistics. This is actually a bit of an annoying factor for him, because now he doesn't have a Drake to fight over. It was a trade. Sure, he'll walk up and be able to deny some waves,
yes.
but there you go. That's something. Found something to fight for.
Now with the buff, probably going to be pushing up further. You would expect.
Who do you give it to, though?
Probably to so on.
I would actually give it to the Kha'Zix. Just I think dominating lane there is going to be difficult. Rengar makes sense also, and it can be a laning buff, but I only say that because I just don't know how much dominating he can do pushed up to the inner turret with someone like a Cassiopeia to react and punish him.
Oh.
Map play happening.
Voyage down behind Snowflower. Current call coming up, pops the passive. They're going to try to get on top of it. He flashes away. That's going to be the Ragnarok pop. Songwon rather going in. And they chunk him down. That's a kill picked up for ROX Tigers. First on the board. Can they get more? Might be looking for the turret. They committed the TP to the bottom lane, so they will go in for this.
Yes, Lindor needs to back fast. Remember, with the Elder Drake buff as well, the Eye of the Beholder, a lot of extra damage coming through from So-On in the solo lane. They're trying to get kills.
Ash Arrow comes out. Now TP coming through from So-On. This is going to be really bad for ROX. Key getting slowed up by Umzi. Should go down. Now flash forward from Kuzan. Going to be looking for the Olaf, and he finds him. 2 answering kills. No turret taken by ROX Tigers. And they just fall further behind.
The best map movement we've seen from Jin Air in a few series. Understood there was no reason they should try to trade some turret damage into an inner turret, but giving up their bot lane turret.
They're going to get a
teleport.
second tower.
All right, will be the second teleport. So the standing gold certainly going the way of Jin Air. It's going to grow the gold lead even further. About 5,000 gold.
Really solid start for these guys. 4K up 4-1. And, I mean, Mickey hasn't been able to be a part of a lot of these exchanges, all of these exchanges actually.
But he's farmed. That's still something. 139 CS, been 20 above the Corki for most of the laning phase.
Yep.
Has Abyssal Scepter already, which isn't doing double duty this game. It's very much laning focused. But Mickey getting farmed could be big. Team fight for ROX Tigers is not unmanageable. And Jin Air do have champions that fall over pretty heavily.
A good move from ROX to initiate this, but they just get punished so hard from sticking around for the turret.
And that's the thing, is that if you look at the minimap right now, exactly the perfect time to make the move. No one's there. They're going to do fine. They start to push up, but the greed starts around now. So they know Linderung's going back to answers. Like, okay, there's only maximum of 3 people here. The Corki actually considers options a couple of times, gets the call when the teleport comes in. And this was the perfect play into the perfect overstay.
Yep.
Both teams happy and sad in the moment, in the passage of a couple of moments.
Massive punishment.
2-level disadvantage for Linderung, but
So-On trying to dash away. Songwon coming in
He's
with
ghosting.
the ghost. Yeah, he's going to try to chase him down. Hookshot should be coming through. Now Mickey roaming up as well. Or at least going for the scrying plant. Hookshot comes in, stuns him up. Songwon still relatively squishy on the Olaf. Has to get devoured by Key. He will lock him up. And So-On still gets the kill. Spits him out right in front of the Renekton. And the Q just takes him out. Oh, man.
mistake by Key there. He tried to give the kill up, but he knew, or should have known, that any damage from the Renekton would have been enough to take down the Olaf. So the duration there just wasn't long enough on the Devour at this early level when it's only a level 1 Devour. Didn't have any option. Definitely wasn't an opt-out. That was just a donation over 3 members for a 1-for-1. It's woeful for ROX Tigers.
Definitely not good here. Foley just keeps stretching for Jin Air, and the only thing that ROX have to show for their time spent so far is a couple kills, which Mickey might be another one. Yes, he is. Just gets melted. Ash Arrow flies straight and true. Then he lands that, and Kuzan scoops up the kill at the end.
Top lane is a tutorial on why you don't gank for a underfed top lane. A 2 levels down Ninja Tabi Phage isn't going to do much against the Renekton, and Olaf had to pop everything to gap close, ulted early as well for damage, and honestly so he could get the second axe after the first one registered. Making plays around your strong lanes is almost always the right way, and a 2-level disadvantage Camille does nothing to a Rengar.
Renekton.
Renekton, that's correct. Renekton Rengar. Seen plenty of them today.
Now, Tigers, where do they go to try to swing themselves back into this game? They do not have a pick comp. They have a very squishy top laner. Next objective spawning is going to be an Ocean Drake, which Jin Air should have priority over, as they have some vision in the river. And it's not worth fighting over if you're ROX.
Well, like you say, no ability to opt into contesting that objective. They don't move towards it. Taking a turret will be nice. Last time we saw Drake was Infernal Drake for the first brick. First turret of the game for ROX Tigers will be something. But Renekton's already walking up.
There's a bit of standing gold, but you see they only get so many hits in onto that top turret. And now another Infernal. ROX are going to have to be prepped for that, because right now that's the only edge that they have. If they could get 2 Infernal Drakes, it would help them out quite a bit, but Jin get it, then theirs is just nullified, basically.
It's one of those Infernal Drakes too. I mean, clearly Infernal Drake is for scaling, we get it, but they're so far behind in the mid game that if they're giving away, say, 3 kills for an Infernal Drake, it feels like it's not worth it.
Sure,
It doesn't feel like the game will get there. So the setup is never going to be one-sided unless they get some big picks, which are very, very difficult for them to pull off. So for now, ROX just need to really keep funneling farm into Camille, who's super, super far behind. 30 CS, but experience also an important thing to talk about.
Arrow coming through onto Key. Still has the flash.
QSS on Key. Didn't pick it up, but noticed the cleanse.
Keeps himself safe for now, but Jin maybe looking for this turret. Snowflower takes a bit of damage from the Deadly Flourish. But that's going to be about it. Yeah. First item, QSS.
Well, he needs to be the one who's able to flash in, devour, and get out. So it's easy target selection, especially for what is a pick comp with the Ashe and the Kha'Zix in particular. Not a bad investment, even though it puts them behind on getting any redemptions or team fight utility.
Jin maybe looking, MT. Getting hit up a bit. Deadly Flourish comes through. That's going to be the curtain call. Opened up. He leaps into the backside. And it looks like he'll keep himself safe. The rest of the shots absorbed by his team.
It's delay time for ROX Tigers. I was about to say for Jin because that's almost always the sentence you say.
That's how it typically goes.
Keep Mickey farming. As long as Key is next to Mickey, there's no kill pressure onto Mickey, so he can just devour. If the arrow comes in, ironically, the Ashe arrow will be up pretty considerably shorter time than the QSS, even though it's only level 11.
Essence Reaver. And you can see Teddy coming in with a Ninja Tabby.
Thanks, Bang. You did this.
Well, sad times for ROX Tigers. Down, but not yet out, but it's not looking good.
They're happiest if Renekton is pushing in waves for Camille to pick up. Just trading farm, Trinity Force. Tiamat completed for Linderon will at least make him a split pusher. Then losing the minimum team fights, maybe the Camille can actually pick up some standing gold, 'cause the standing gold is a pretty big problem. No turrets yet taken by ROX Tigers. Not really in a position to take one anytime soon either. Bot turret they got low. That's why they're sending Linderung there now.
Bot and top have been chunked out a bit, but still, it's going to be a while. Snowflower Kuzan and MT all sitting in a brush. Maybe looking for a flash Nethergrass play, but they will go ahead and peel back.
No incentive for ROX to walk up there. Key's going to face check some damage.
Slow coming through, Snowflower. They'll just get the silence. Start spawning some Voidlings.
Yeah, someone actually got the red. If Jin had put more resources into that, they probably would almost certainly have taken it.
Oh, MT barely getting away from that. Root that would have come through. That could have been bad times for the Kha'Zix.
I just want to say it was a mistake that Jin were not able to take that red buff. Should have been no way for Jin to fight for it. ROX Tigers to fight for it, given how strong Jin is right now. But they kind of tunneled on Key for a second, while in vision, Sungwon soloed down the red buff. Linderung Farms wants to be doing that for about another 5 minutes. The gold lead.
Preferably without Soan doing it as well.
Even then, though, you can't have everything, right? It'd be nice if Soan disconnected for 5 minutes and he caught up in CS, but this isn't one of my solo queue games, so that won't happen.
Somehow we don't pause.
Nope.
Sorry, Jin, you don't get any pauses. Your average game time is over 40 minutes, you don't get those.
One day we're going to see the alpha no pause, where it's like, well, we're fine, whatever. Jin in a really nice spot. Trying to accelerate the game. Not necessarily something they've been known for, but they've had a couple of games this season where they've translated a good early game into a strong mid game. Now they're grouping.
Yet again, looking for the turret. Teddy getting a couple shots in, but still take a while for that to go down.
Next one, they should probably open up the curtain call to dissuade, but only if someone's showing, who is not.
Linderung gotta stick around.
How many shows, though? Okay. Linderung just pushing as much as he can.
Yeah, could just stick to keep clearing out the waves. Dragon getting ready to spawn now in about 50 seconds, though, so ROX may have to get some vision prep down. Right now they have almost no wards in that bottom side of the map.
I'd actually prefer to see ROX, like just Linder on recall, run straight to top and just take top turret. I don't really think they're in a realistic spot to contest the Drake just with where the gold is. So taking a turret to me is the more controlled thing to do. But Sol1, of course, can just go match him anyway. There should be a scenario here where Jin Air get a free Drake and there's just nothing ROX can take in trade. But maybe they'll try to fight, which, barring some amazing petrifying gaze, looks very tricky to pull off.
Gonna spot in on Mickey. Void Spike has come out, chunk him down a little bit. And ROX just have to peel right back over towards this tier 1 and mid and keep this defended.
Still, if they're trading farm, not a problem from the ROX Tigers. Shouldn't be trades. Jin Air should be taking things, hunting and gathering. It should be very much primal human instincts here rather than any sort of trades.
Jin Air aren't at that stage. It's like, wow, we're ahead this much early
Feels
on.
good.
We don't know what to do now.
ROX Key pops his gray skin very early. Wants to keep as topped up as possible with a team fight looming.
Silence won't connect, nor will the rocket. Snowflower still has his passive.
And the wrong's being shadowed by Renekton and bot, so predictably has to back away.
Yep. Peel out of their package. Does get expended here by Kuzan, and that's going to be the Infernal Break getting started up. It's absolutely getting shredded down. Linderon goes in, drops the ultimatum on top of Kuzan, but he's going to die first, which means that Kuzan is free to go. 2 kills, 3 kills, now picked up for Jin Air. We'll go ahead, tack a fourth onto that, only losing Kuzan and Teddy here at the end. Songyun, the lone member, limping his way out of the fight, but Infernal Drake picked up for Jin Air. They come up so huge on that.
And that's why I was saying, why bother fighting for the Drake? They'll lose multiple objectives, but worth noting that with double AD dying, the turnaround Baron that most teams would do in this scenario with 4 dead is not possible. So it will be still more advantages to Jin Air, more setup for Jin Air, but no more. So just because of specifically who died, one of those ADs lives, you turn on to Baron. But in this scenario, not possible. And unfortunately,
look at Linderon just gone.
I mean, it's basically a suicide Hextech ultimatum. It was never going to get any more than that. Mickey's exhausted. This is exactly what should happen, but happiness factor is that Kuzan ends up dying to the last stick of poison. And now Camille can't enter lane against Renekton. Item advantage starting to get more and more stark, although credit to Mickey, certainly farming up a storm, if nothing else.
Yeah, almost perfect CS coming through from him, but need to see that big petrifying gaze help turn things around. Looks like the first turret might go down in favor of ROX Tigers, and it does. Tier 1 is picked up, but not without Linderong suffering quite a bit of damage.
Oh, look at this ward.
Straight into the lane, really aggressive. Key gonna cleanse off that Ash Arrow immediately. That's an ultimatum coming down onto So1. They root him with the Deadly Flourish. Mickey has to kite back. Devour comes through, keeping him alive for just a little bit longer. They spit him out a big one. Might be enough to take him down, but the range isn't there. But now ROX chunked out. Means that Jin Air can just push in and take out this inner turret in mid.
Just an outer mid for what will be an inner mid, and also the ability to reset, get some control over the Baron. Multiple recalls required for the ROX Tigers. That's the sort of trades, unfortunately, you have to make. They don't feel like trades, definitely feels like you're getting the short end of the stick, but when you're this far behind, it's the closest to a trade the ROX Tigers could realistically hope for.
At this point, ROX sort of have to be hoping that Jin Air starts playing like them at IEM.
This is true. They don't quite have a playmaking Azir to dive into the backline, although
Package.
Mickey's Corki has certainly done some impersonations of Mickey's Azir and Mickey's other champions.
Yeah, so Kuzan could very well do that.
Doesn't really strike me as a Kuzan move, honestly. It's a bit more safety first.
Let's see. Arrow coming out, finds Key. Do they want to really capitalize on top of this one? He doesn't have the QSS. So, yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and use the Nether Grasp onto him.
Got a lot of value out of that QSS. Good investment.
Good decision there.
Doesn't have a redemption like the opposite number in Malzahar has.
Having one of those could be crucial in these fights, as everyone just has been getting destroyed right off the bat. So maybe having that big heal would help keep them in it a bit longer. But now Question is, when will the next fight be? Because Jin Air, they're just dictating the pace of the game. Inner turret taken. They could very well get that top tier 2 turret. That might be the next objective that they opt in for, but Mountain Drake on the way in some minutes. Baron still just sitting there.
I mean, Jin Air have complete agency over this game. If they want to force something, ROX will be forced to fight with less resources and funnel up and die like we saw. The only way that ROX Tigers can get back into the game is indecision from Jin Air.
Yep.
With a tool on cooldown like that, it'll give again more time. Trading farm is all ROX can hope for. It's the most they can hope for, and Jin Air just need to force things. So, not necessarily been their happy place as an organization, forcing. So, still some hope for the ROX Tigers, but apart from that, it's kind of an air of inevitability about this game.
It's just so funny to me that the only way that ROX Tigers could hope to win this game is to beat Jin Air at their own. Just take it as long as possible.
There's no options. There's no way for them to dive. X-Tech Ultimatum is basically giving an extra kill over to the Jin Air GreenWings. Not enough damage. Double exhaust is available again, so many ways having two diving short damage threats in Cassiopeia and the Camille is answered by the double exhaust. And then Sangyun just doesn't have the damage. There wasn't the latitude in this game for him to be far ahead. He's not that kind of player anyway.
Shero back up. Teddy scoping things out, but doesn't really want to commit in for it yet.
Happy thing for ROX is that Ashe doesn't really have targets. There is Edge of Night, an Olaf, and a Tahm Kench. So targets with Camille split pushing is quite difficult, so the obvious play is hard.
Oh, Key coming in. It's the flash out from Snowflower. Curtain Call comes through. One hit on the Teddy. Exhaust comes down. Songwon popping the Ragnarok, and the Ghost are going to try to take him out, but the Redemption is coming down. And meanwhile, Upti goes into the back and takes out Sangyun. Now ROX completely surrounded up the lane. Will go down. Nethergrasp onto Mickey means he's a goner. Double kill coming through from Upti. 4 dead. That's Baron to Jin Air.
Definitely. ROX can't make plays like that. They're not in the game the way they think they are. When you see opportunities like that, you always need to pinch yourself and say, wait, is this too good to be true? And with their comp and with where they're at in the game, far, far too good to be true. They just wanted to keep the split pushing game. Have Linderung divide the map. They don't want him to teleport. They don't want him to do anything. But now every objective is being passed over to Jin Air. The Goldie's going to get ridiculous. The Baron buff minion's even going to last longer, so he's going to get even more shots. He's going to take it too. Happy days here for Kuzan.
All right, well, now exposed Inhib in mid. He'll get the recall, have a nice big purchase. And this is just ROX, feeling the desperation.
A lot of it's fine. You just use the Abyssal Voyage. That's fine. Sangyun starts to hit. The moment you're ghosting for future kills where you don't have eyes on Kha'Zix or Corki with the package, Jin's dead. And then Linderung's in the back line. What's he to do? They don't have a front line. They're diving into areas where they don't have vision, not respecting threats on the enemy side. Feels like it's been a few weeks, but we've seen this ROX Tigers before.
It's definitely familiar territory. Mountain Drake now going over to Jin Air, just so they have everything humanly possible to close out this game. Elder will be coming up next. Linderung's finally getting a split in onto this turret. We'll be able to take it out, but just a very slight reprieve as they are still about 11,000 gold behind.
You think back to the big ban strategy. Ban Graves, ban Elise, take Kha'Zix early. Sungwon's getting to his extended bench, and still a young player, still very much forming a champion pool. Skeptic to say that Olaf is an effective champion for him in competitive right now. This hasn't been a great performance by him. Admittedly, with plenty of other people not leading the charge either, let's say. But it is a blue side strategy that seems to have a lot of merit. Used to be banning out Mickey, but banning out Sungwon with a tighter champion pool seems to be a pretty good decision as well.
Yeah, for sure. Will be made a little bit more difficult as it just seems ever so likely that we'll be going to a game 3. Be more difficult to ban them out when they're over on the red side again for Jin Air. We'll have to see what happens. Have to wait for this game to be concluded first.
The Baron buff has certainly made the game that much easier. Taking turrets, it would not have been possible with the decent, if not great, wave clear on the side of ROX Tigers.
cannon just chunking away at the turret ever so steadily, while Linderong just tries to hold on to this inner turret and top.
It's getting better and better. So one place you might be happy is that the game has gone long enough for Linderong to outscale the Renekton. He's about to lose his buff. Here is, okay.
Dominus comes out, he'll just go ahead and take that hook shot.
The Eye of the Beholder has just run out as well. I believe it was taken 11 minutes, so 20 minutes later. But still going to get the turret, still going to grow the gold lead. More than just the 1v1 relevant, given that multiple members from Jin Air can cut from mid to top.
Yeah. Now Inhib being targeted. ROX need one hell of a fight to defend the rest of this base. Jin Air not even going to give them the opportunity. They take the Inhib, they peel back. The Baron buff is ready to expire, so they'll just get one final recall off and spend this gold.
And come back with everything. 3 items on the Corki. He's going to be able to shred through the Olaf, shred through the Camille. Nowhere near enough tank items there. Still no utility items from Key because he had to go QSS early to do his role. If you're going to go QSS for carries early, your carries need to actually be worth the burden that is sending your own build back, and they're not. You know, there's not far enough ahead, they're not farmed enough to really justify it. Everyone's an item or more behind their opponents, so you know, something about rescuing something that's not worth rescuing, and that's kind of where Key's at.
Yeah, we just haven't really seen any effect from Mickey at all.
Well, he farmed a lot, he didn't die in the early game, and then kind of everyone else's problems fell over into his lane.
Yeah.
Game was lost around Mickey this game. Not very often, not the story. It's almost always Mickey winning or losing games, but don't think too many people are going to be pointing at him for game 2.
Definitely be unfair judgment if that would be the case. Jin Air now just looking to continue the push. Super Creeps moving their way into the mid lane where Songyun is desperately trying to clear them out as Jin. Takes him quite a while. Deep TP coming in from Linderong in the back. Gonna try to find something here. Curtain Call comes through. Petrifying Gaze won't lock anybody up, just slowing up a couple.
Now or never.
Redemption thrown down, so on going into the front. It's gonna be Linderong in the back onto Umti, throws out the ultimatum. Several members low, but he's gonna get Nethergrasped. It looks like he's just going to die. Umti comes up with the kill. Still makes it out with his life, and ROX. The rest of the members low on HP, have to peel back to the fountain with the Super Creeps pushing in towards those Nexus turrets, and they just can't find a single pick.
Minion Wave's pretty far away, so a lot of backs are going to happen here for the ROX Tigers. Songyun can't get there, Mickey can't either. They're going to defend anyway with low health and mana respectively.
TP coming through from So-On, keeping the Minion Wave alive throughout the Redemption. Do too much, now turret broken. Do they try to back off? So-On goes in, stuns up Key, they take him out. He gets the killing blow, and Umti, despite the fact that he's been just one hit from dead this whole time, still just sticking around fearlessly. 2 members down on the side of ROX Tigers. Jin Air, they're going to be looking for the win.
Risky though, still plenty of damage on the side of ROX. I think it's smarter to back away. But Jin Air.
Mickey going low, Ash Arrow comes out,
Nice.
He's popped. Kuzan gets the killing blow, and I think that will instill enough confidence in Jin Air to go ahead and try to close this one out. The wrong backup, chunked out to half HP yet again. Kuzan just keeps ripping through them with the rockets. First Nexus turret will go down. Super Creeps here to tank up the rest. And they get it. Gonna be the question. Jump forward on the So-On. Throw down the ultimatum to try to take him out, but he's still alive. Comes up with a kill on the Songwon instead. And ROX are just flinging themselves at Jin Air, and they're just getting swatted away left and right.
This though is Curtain Call.
Curtain Call does come through. So-On might have to just sacrifice himself, and he does. He does go down. Tactical sweep not connecting onto Teddy. Redemption thrown out to get the heal. They'll try to exit. Hook shot coming through. Flash away. The turnaround perhaps. Key. Electric Vision sticking onto him. Nethergrasp down onto the Camille. He goes out.
Boom.
Ash Arrow goes through. Get the kills. And oh me, oh my, 20,000 gold lead on the horizon for Jin Air.
Yep. That was fun. Wasn't really going to change the course of the game at all. 7-1-8 casually is Kuzan in the mid lane. Big Minion Wave pushing up. This one's done. Let's just finish it off. Tutorial fashion, nothing wrong with that. Back, spend some gold, run at the Nexus, and it'll work out. No brains required for closing out this one. Jin Air's got it in the bag. For now, we can roar around the jungle and clear some camps. That's fun.
Well, something tells me Sungwon's Olaf is probably going to get retired for a while.
You say retired, I would say forcefully retired.
Maybe it's time for Mighty Bear.
I mean, he's available. He's probably at the studio. I didn't catch him. Shy is here. Another possibility. Linderung played very well in game 1, though, so that'd be surprising.
Yeah. The Maokai was good.
Maokai is
Camille, not so much
good.
here.
Camille is better. Something, something. D2 bucks.
Not sure how you're going to piece that one together, but I'm sure Twitch chat will figure out a way. MT taking a couple shots. Sungwon popping the Ragnarok. Big heal coming through from the Redemption. He gets rooted. Tactical sweep comes through. Actually, the hit from Songyun ends up coming up with the kill. Dash forward, though, as the Ash Arrow connects. Will take out the Jhin. Will take out the Camille. And that will complete the ace. The Nexus goes down. 38 minutes on the clock. Jhin Air. They finally put a win on the board.
First in 6 games. 6 losses in a row is broken by a game win here, so that's a good